Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 86 of Shattered Earth. It's been a while. So, last time, you guys found yourselves in a chamber underneath the great pyramid tomb of the human body of Karako, the god of the sun. And you found yourselves at odds with corrupted elemental beings set there to judge you by the previous warden and holder of the Key of Dust, which you have now claimed after having defeated them. You were able to leave the tomb, at which point you were taken in for reasons by the Eclipse Guard of Shije, the capital city of Tabaxi Nation, and brought before the Pharaoh herself, who, having been placated by the arrival of Solomir, and by the fact that you were in fact carrying many artifacts from within the tomb itself, was none too pleased, but forced anyway to regale you as ordained by Karako himself, and for the time being has granted you guest of honor status here in the royal palace, as it were. Where we finally left off, you guys were at a feast in your honor, the honor of having cured the plague that has, well, plagued the city for the last several months. And with that being in mind, once the festivities died down enough, your group, rather, is taken from your table to a private chamber somewhere else in the palace, where the Pharaoh intends to have a conversation with you. So, you are, once your meals are finished, and once the festivities begin to die down once again, the Pharaoh bids her guests adieu, and you lot are gathered by the Eclipse Guard and escorted down a series of right-angle hallways until you reach a fairly large chamber. It appears to be a bed chamber of sorts, with a number of very, as opulent style of furniture as you have seen in this place. A very large bed with draped silk, kind of forming a canopy around it, almost like a weird cocoon shape. This kind of like odd, like teardrop shape of silk that for a bed that is up on a platform in the corner. You can see a large pond of water set into the floor off to one side of the room, next to several sandstone columns that lead out onto a balcony that overlooks the entirety of the city. You can also see a number of tables and chairs, desks, a number of other furniture pieces here, all of which are of catfolk make, as far as you can tell. Nothing here appears to be of any foreign design. The Pharaoh gestures for your group and for Shaxi to sit at one of the long tables out on the balcony. So, what would you like to do? Anybody?
I go I take a seat at the table. Whatever side of the table I sit on, though, it'll probably be a seat that is as close as possible to the like the inside, like away from the edge of the balcony. So.
Okay.
I also take a seat.
I'd like to admire the view.
It is beautiful this time of night. The light of day has faded at this point, and a darkness has fallen over the city, but the comforting darkness of night, and you can see in the street several homes have begun to light lanterns on the interiors. You can see dotted throughout the cityscape a number of nightlights beginning to twinkle into existence. In the distance, you can also see the shining capped peak of the pyramid that you guys were in just earlier that day, standing tall and proud above every other building in the city.
That is a banquet, right?
There was a banquet. This is after the
No, me.
So you guys have ate and drank your fill.
So right now there's just us and the queen, or what?
It's you and the Pharaoh. Two fairly large, heavily armored Eclipse Guard at the door, and Shaxi, who was also seated with you at the table during the feast.
Okay, I had to ask because of my flaw. Would you say human standard-wise, Shaxi and the Pharaoh are quite attractive?
By human standards?
Yeah.
I mean, that's subjective to Valerian, I would say.
Oh, okay. Look,
they're not. I wouldn't say they're. Ugly. I don't know. They're cat people. That depends on him. I don't know how to describe a cat person's physical attractiveness to someone as a subjective thing.
I'm asking. Just open my sheet and look at my flaw.
Okay.
I don't want to say it.
If it says likes pussy, I'm gonna be fucking mad.
Oh no.
I see.
Mm.
I mean, you can tell that there was effort put into their appearance. They are royalty, after all. Shaxi, very much different from before. Shaxi was, last time you saw her clothed in leathers with a hood up and traveling gear. No makeup to be seen. This is an entirely different presentation. She is dressed in silk. She is garbed in several like golden adornments, wrist cuffs, necklaces, earrings. There's a tiara that kind of goes across her head that holds a veil that kind of drags slightly behind her. So you can tell that they have certainly dressed up for this occasion. The Pharaoh, of course, dressed as she normally would, but Shaxi is a little bit of a different look that you've seen before. Yeah, and I mean, they're cats. They're lithe, for whatever that's worth. Shaxi also silently and almost cautiously takes a seat near the head of the table that the Pharaoh gestures to, as the rest of you find your places. The Pharaoh, in the meantime, walks over to a rather large desk. It's probably 3 times the size of any makeup desk you would see in a noble's bedroom, covered in ceramic pots and brushes and things like that, and begins to remove aspects of her jewelry and takes off her headdress and lays it on like a marble bust that's kind of sitting on one end of the desk. When she's finished removing her pharaoh's adornments, you can see that she has donned over her normal clothing a set of comfortable cleric's vestments, all emblazoned with sun imagery and karako and all that, the kind of things you would expect of a high priest. But something certainly more comfortable than, evening formal wear. Long flowing white silk robe. Begins to glide over to your table and takes her seat at the head. And then addresses your party. So, I hope you enjoyed the evening's festivities. But it is time for us to have a conversation about what exactly happened to you inside the Khyber Ashramas. I've gotten a version of the story from Solimir, but I would prefer to hear it directly from the heroes of Shije themselves.
Well, if no one else is going to pipe up, I'm going to relate the events that occurred inside the pyramid, and I guess in the very top of the pyramid with Solimir, and then later in the, I guess, cave or cavern under the pyramid, to the best of my recollection.
Yeah, you.
State
I said telling the story. It takes quite a few minutes if you're telling it accurately as you can, and you can see a range of emotions that kind of play on her face every so often. When you mention certain things, her ears will perk up or lay flat, depending on whether she agrees or doesn't with your actions during the thing. Paying specific attention to name drops and puzzles solved that perhaps she knew of or didn't know the answers to, or whatever it is. And especially with the the creatures you had to fight to get up to Solimir's chamber in the first place. She once you finish your tale, she you end it with the how you guys claimed the key of dust, and she looks she looks across her room and says, "Can I see the artifact that you claimed?"
I believe Chance has physical possession of it, so I will motion to him to, show her the key that we obtained. Okay.
We can hear you now. Alright, that's weird. Chance was. I was trying to mention the giant in particular, just to make sure that one didn't get lost in the.
Yeah, I would assume you name dropped Golgalore at some point.
Yeah. Chance will produce the key from his person and set it. He doesn't make any particularly sudden moves as he's reaching for it, because he can tell the guards. He just slowly pulls it out and puts it on the table.
She looks over at you and says, "You need not be trepidatious, my friend. You are not to be held prisoner here any longer. We merely took precautions. Outsiders in the city are few and far between for a reason. We have little trust for those outside of our walls and not part of our custom. But for you, they will make an obvious exception. She takes the key in one paw and begins to mull it over, hold it up to the light and look through the big gem at the head of the key. And just musing to herself, says, kind of continuing the conversation. An exception, yes. Your actions in the tomb, the manner with which you have earned the respect of Solomir, and the attention of Karako, no doubt, absolves you of any heresy or blasphemy you may have committed in the name of saving my people. And for that I am very grateful, as are the people of this city. And on a personal note, though it is in a roundabout way, and the solution to a problem that I created myself, I am eternally grateful that you have brought my daughter back to me. She finishes inspecting the key, hands it back to you.
When the Pharaoh mentions daughter, Chance looks at Shaxi with a look that says, "Oh, really?"
Shaxi has the most embarrassed look on her face, ears back, clearly not enjoying this conversation at all.
Apologies for my shock, Your Majesty. I was not we were not informed of who we had been speaking to when we came here.
It is a title that has only been recently reinstated due to your own actions. If you had failed or died in that pyramid, then I'm afraid Shaxi would not be standing here or sitting here with us today. You see, the reason why she was able to go and find you in the first place is because she was excommunicated from the city for doing the very same thing that you accomplished. She saw through her own force of wit and intelligence the source of the plague and sought to enter the tomb by herself, and while she was unsuccessful, she was also caught. I, as Pharaoh, had no choice but to banish her. I could have doled out death, and I am so very glad that I didn't.
Pardon my bluntness, but it is probably a good thing she did fail. I am not entirely certain Shaxi would have been able to survive some of the trials in that pyramid.
One of the many reasons why it is off limits in the first place. The pyramid is meant as a test for great warriors to gain Karako's favor, as well as a tomb to honor those warriors who died creating this city and this great people. We are who we are because of their sacrifice, and we must honor them in these ways. What she did was heretical, yes, punishable by death, but in the end I could not bring it. I could not bring myself to end my own daughter's life, and that you have brought her back to me and redeemed her through your actions means very much.
Speaking of death, we do have another problem.
You can see her ears twitch in interest with what you're saying. Go on.
Have your scouts been going quiet or not returning while around the large volcano?
We do not send scouts to the volcano. We are well aware of what lives there. It is through Karako's protection that we are able to reach a stalemate with the great dragon that dwells there and its children of the scale.
No, you don't know anything about the Children of the Scale has been amassing there for the last, seems like, well, from when we saw it, it looked like they've been gathering.
We are aware, of course. We have ways of peering into Kiati's actions and goings-on. And we are keeping close eye, of course, at all times. But as of now, we have the little means to counteract or assault such a fortified mountain of fire as this.
Oh,
But Kiati also does not have the forces needed to take this city from us. So, we exist at a stalemate.
I'm pretty sure they do now.
In what way?
Can I just say that I described what we've seen when we passed by there, scouted?
Sure.
Yeah.
Remind me what I told you, because I have other things in the background that I may or may not have said already. I don't remember.
On my note, it said it looked like they're amassing an army.
Yes.
And it was probably the biggest one we have ever seen.
Yes. Do you have any notes on the makeup of said army? Is my real question.
Unfortunately, no, because I did not write that down. Please tell me.
If memory serves, it had to deal with a lot of Dragonborn, Kobold and shit. I also would like to point out it's probably the only army we've seen, because like even back in Onyx, it wasn't like the entire army together at the same time we were dealing with on our grand escape. It was at most like one battalion we were trying to get away from.
Wait, hold up. I got a one note here. It said Dragon Devil? What the fuck is that about?
Abishai.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, those fuckers.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So if you that's what I was kind of waiting for. So if you mention the existence of Abishai, the Pharaoh gets a very concerned look crosses her face for a flash of a second. I am not familiar with these dragon devils, but it doesn't sound good. I will have my priests look into it, see if they can glean any other information.
Mm-hmm.
How is it you came to know about the Children of the Scales movements? And
we literally ran across them on the way here.
And they had these Abishai with them?
I mean, as far as we could tell, a couple of them flying about.
Most concerning. If Kiati is dealing with devilry, it is something to be concerned about indeed. We must know whether the others have done the same.
Honestly, the timing is impeccable, wouldn't you say?
The children have been placated for many years, slowly amassing power as much as they can. But mostly the I forget what I called them. Hold on. I think they're the paragons of each color, essentially. Let's see if I can find my notes on this real quick. Hold on.
Something I feel is at least semi worth bringing up is the ash and the undead made of like ash and sand and fire that we also ran into that we think was caused by dragon.
Hmm.
If my memory is correct, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I don't remember if they were ash walkers or something similar, but yeah, they were quite the handful.
I forget what I call them. They're like the leaders of the group, several different dragons. Anyway, the different sectors of the Children of the Scale have been divided for many years. They don't play well with each other. Generally speaking, Kiati keeps them in line with her temper, but if in truth they are amassing for some grand offensive, then it is not something that we have seen up until this point. It is possible they have kept it hidden from us, kept us thinking that they were divided for many years, but if they put aside their differences, or if they had the reason to unite, this is of great concern. She, at this discussion, she looks over to one of the Eclipse Guard and speaks in Tabaxi, just at him, and you see he gives like a little chest bump salute, and then exits out of the room.
So yeah, I think you might want to. What I'm trying to say is, the cultists and I think they were working together. I mean, timing is too impeccable. And if that's the case, they probably know that the curse has been broken, which means they're going to be coming here.
Hold on. Do we have like when we were in the place with the elementals? Like, did it seem like that was like caused maliciously, or just an overtime pollution type thing?
Make me an Arcana check.
Ooh.
Look, I'm usually the worst case kind of, think of the worst case, scenario.
Why can't I just... So. Damn, it's my roll's bad. It's a 12.
From what you were able to glean, the chamber itself, just for context clues that you've picked up, it has been there since before the city was even founded. It's something that was built around for a reason, but it was not originally part of any existing structure. It wasn't part of any constructed structure by the catfolk. It was here before them. All of the columns and writings and anything scream pre-breaking. Beyond that, the magic of that place and the reason for its existence, or rather continued survival, is beyond you.
But it's reasonable to say that the cultists probably had nothing to do with the
it would
thing
be a
the way it
reasonable
is.
assumption. The Catholic of
would...
Shije are very much guarded when it comes to people entering the city and knowing anything about what's inside of that tomb. It was locked off from their own people. Like, even their own priests were forbidden from entering that place. They certainly wouldn't have any reason for the Children of the Scale to know. Unless someone figured it out and told them, but no one had any reason to suspect that anything was there until you guys came along with a key that pointed directly to it. So,
would say when flying to the. I would not make that assumption. That place, it was here before Shije. I don't think the cultists had anything that had any hand in its current in the state of it. I would imagine it's just it was just a series of circumstances that led to it via just over, because that place was there pre-breaking, so 1,000 years, no one to tend to it. Sometimes that just happens.
Could I also pose a question to the Pharaoh?
Go for it.
To the best of your knowledge, do you happen to know that anything that you've seen that Kiati is involved has anything to do with the elements? Does she tend to call on the elements to do her bidding, or does she do things more of a different way? Because this seemed like something other than what, as far as I know, dragons tend to do, or devils for that matter.
As far as we are aware, Kiati has not left her volcano in quite some time. She doesn't tend to take care of her own business. She tends to distribute it amongst her followers. Any bidding she would have done, she gives to the various soldiers and heretics of the Children of the Scale. The last time she deigned to step down from her mountain was many, many years ago.
Okay then. Well, it seems like whatever this was, it was probably not her doing then, as near as we can tell.
But one, in order to actually tamper with, they would have had to have got to that place, and given what it took us to get there, I doubt there's another entrance.
The only things down there that would qualify as entrances were, you know, the portals, and I don't think those go to anywhere around here.
Yeah, the 4 elemental gateways down there were one way.
And probably to other realms. So I would guess
You would need to go down there again and take the time to inspect them heavily to figure out exactly what the magic was with regards to those platforms.
To be fair, like Chance, we already did that when we were down there. We figured out that those were one-way gates.
Yes, but in terms of the specific magic in place there, you were not able to glean everything.
Like if I remember right, the 4 elementals down there, those gates were basically there just to keep them sustained, and that now that the key has been removed, I just remember right, they were actually like released. So I'm not even sure those gates are even usable anymore.
One of you roll a persuasion check.
not it. Ooh.
But may I ask what this persuasion is for?
No, you may not ask. The queen, the pharaoh is as you guys are discussing like this at length and kind of musing to yourselves, trying to figure out, just talking out loud. She has a puzzled look on her face as well. She definitely has like a bit of worry going on. You can see the ears are starting to either twitch in agitation or lay flat against her skull as you guys are discussing this. She after some time of you discussing this, she looks to you all and says, "I have no reason to hide my own suspicions. It is likely this plague was not caused by any outside source. What I am about to tell you does not leave this city. You must not reveal anything about what I'm about to tell you to anyone outside of this chamber." She gestures even for that last remaining Eclipse Guard to leave the room, which he does, leaving you guys kind of alone with the Pharaoh. You can even see that Shoxy now is very confused as to what her mother is getting at. "Something, one of the most closely guarded secrets of this city is the existence of a companion pyramid to the Sunlight Sepulchre. As there were two brothers, there are two pyramids. One holding the mortal remains of Karako, and one which seals Ryan Kodesh's power away from him. That pyramid exists directly below the Sunlight Sepulchre, and it is very possible the dark magics contained there somehow corrupted the chamber of magic that even I did not know existed. Slowly and over time, or more concerningly, if it was recent corruption, it means that the pyramid has become active in some way. This secret, the location of this pyramid is one that is very closely guarded for a reason. Part of our faith is preventing Ryan Kodesh from coming to power without redemption. It is written in scripture that he can be redeemed, but he must do so at great personal cost. We are not here to make that any easier for him to do. Legends speak of a trial that he must go through, of companions he must earn along the way in order to help him regain his power and redeem him, so that he may take his place at Karako's side once again. But if he were to claim his power for evil, it would surely spell doom for many, many more for centuries to come. So we do not reveal the location of the Black Pyramid to others, out of mostly fear that they could be tricked or coerced into attempting to fulfill a prophecy that could very well spell doom for everyone, all of Shije, and all of the Expanse, and who knows how many out there in the world.
That's not comforting at all.
It is not meant to be. It is a heavy burden to bear, this information, knowing that such a source of darkness dwells beneath your people, and yet you have no means to let them know, to assuage their fear, other than to keep faith and to warn against the trickery of Rian Kodesh. In any case, you have been the individuals who have gotten closest to the Black Pyramid in centuries, as far as I am aware. And you are not corrupted by its influence, as far as I can tell. So I feel comfortable in revealing this information to you, considering the recent events and what they are. It is clear you are not agents of Rian Kodesh, as I initially feared. In any case, I do not believe I have gotten the reason for why you are searching for this artifact, this key. Something brought you to my city, and I would know what that is before we end our conversation tonight.
Well, that is a complicated tale, but I believe I can explain it succinctly. One, we came here looking for the key because another key pointed to it. There are 4 of them, and they all point to each other, to some degree. But the reason in particular is that we're not the only one looking for these keys, and we'd rather the other party get them, because these keys open a ancient, even ancient by pre-breaking standards, prison, and we would like it to stay closed. The other group does not.
A location from the before times, then, is what you seek. I suppose it does make sense that I would not be aware of this chamber, then. Something that came before. Something so old and ancient. Something so dangerous. But hidden.
Also, a word of warning. I would be hesitant to trust anyone from Onyx at this moment, because the other group has very much subverted most of the ruling body over there.
Change in leadership for the foreigners that walk our sands. What do you know of the nature of this other group? How much do you know?
I will add in something. One thing we are reasonably certain of is they do not use peaceful means to accomplish their ends.
Consort with the forces of hell. Let's see. I can give you names for at least some of them. One of them we've already dealt with, but
Let's see how many you can name.
Let me pull up my notes.
Name 7 of the 9 members of the Knights of the Black Circle. Go.
Let's see. We got.
Was Daphne of the Iron Cross one of theirs?
Yeah, and we already killed her.
Good riddance.
There's Richter Crow, Alaric Hadrigan.
Uh-huh.
You've killed 2 of them so far.
Who was the second one?
Ursula Redshore, the assassin who killed King Brahm.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. I forgot whether or not she was like an actual member, or if she was just like a subdivision.
Well, she was. Also aware of, you're aware of all of them but one, I'll tell you that much. So, Hadrigan, Crow, Ursula Redshore, Daphne of the Iron Cross. You are also aware of the pair of them that you went with to the Correspond Hive, Volk Durad and Thrakar the Betrayer. The Black Dragonborn and the dark-skinned Tiefling. And you are also aware of 2 that you have not met yet. One that you've only seen in a vision back in the Tower of Massus.
Oh yeah.
You are aware of. You are aware of Urena, and you are aware of Geras. Is what she called the other one, the snake man.
Yes. Urena, the powerful enchantress, I think.
Yeah. And I believe we also learned at least how each of them has a devil patron.
Yeah, each of them is sponsored by an archdevil of some measure. 2 of them are gone, so that leaves 2 ticked off the list. But the rest of them, you don't necessarily know which ones belong to who quite yet. And presuming that there are, or were, 9 of them, 1 for each circle of hell, you're missing 1 that you are not aware of.
Yeah. I would hazard a guess Richter Crow, probably Mammon. Given how Richter seems to be handling the Iron Circle's finances. Hadrigan, Asmodeus, that one goes without saying. I think we knew, I think we knew, 2 of them, at least 2 who their patrons actually were. I think Daphne was Zariel? Or no, whatever Dariel, whatever devil replaced it.
No, that is not true. The only one that you're 100% aware of is Urena's patron, because you saw that vision with her meeting Glazia in her garden.
Glazia, that was her fucking. That's what I was thinking of.
The other ones are
what? Yes.
Yeah, Glazia
the extra sneaky one. Well.
Yeah. Let's see. What were the other names? Just so I can write them. Make sure I have them written down and in their own section of my notes. Knights of the Iron Circle. I have.
Yes, he will. So there's Asmodeus is up for grabs. You can probably assume that's happening, like you said. There is Mephistopheles.
Oh, yeah.
Balsable. Lord of Slugs. Levistus, of course. Fierna and Belial. They're kind of like dual ruler. They each kind of rule over one thing. The two of them together rule over one thing. Memon, Dispater, and Malachor was the one who took over for Zariel.
Malachor, that was it. Okay. If I remember right, it was Malachor that tried to fuck. That was that fucking temple where Chance's map led him to.
Yeah, Malachor is your progenitor.
Malachor, these nuts.
What were the other knights? It was Knights of the Iron Circle, right? My brain didn't substitute knights into something else.
No,
Black
Knights
Circle.
of the Black Circle. The Knights of the Black Circle are the 9
Richter
leaders of that group, and then they have underlings under them that are acolytes of the Black Circle in one way or another.
Yeah, I just need the other names that we know of, just so I can have them down, even the dead ones.
That's all of them. You're only aware of those names. You're only missing one. There's one unknown.
Okay. VG, I'm asking you to repeat them so I can write them down.
Okay, got it. So you've got Hadrigan, you've got Urena.
How do you spell Urena?
Yurena.
Yurena. Do we know who that is?
She's the
she's the one.
Enchantress. She's the one whose memories you saw at the top of the.
Yeah,
Right.
She was addressed by name in the letter that you found at Hadrigan's desk when you went and infiltrated his manor. Which is the reason you know how to spell her name in the first place.
Yep.
There is Volk. Vaulk.
Vaulk.
Yep. There is Richter Crow.
And is that one the dragon?
No, the dragonborn is Thrakar. Thrar.
Oh, okay. And then Volk is the tiefling. Okay.
Yeah. Volk was the tiefling.
Thrakar the Betrayer, which I assume was probably him betraying the whatever the black dragon of the Children of the Scale happens to be.
Yeah. That's what you've been able to glean so far. I believe somebody had context for that told you at some point. I think it was probably Glacier told you about it.
Yeah.
Ursula Redshore.
Ursula. I assume RUSULA.
URSULA.
Or URSULA. Yeah. So we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know 7, right?
There's Daphne, and then there's Gyrus. Those are the other two.
Gyrus. You guys spell Gyrus?
Gyrass.
Alright. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Yeah. So we know 8 of them. 2 are dead. There's 1 unknown. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Chance would, since there's no potential for listening in, because it's Chance would inform the Pharaoh and Shaxi about the people we know of.
Okay. All right. Cool. So intrigued faces throughout. This is something that they certainly were not aware of. It's not common knowledge what's been going on with the Black Circle. Their order has been clandestine, working in the shadows for many years, and it's not something that anyone would be necessarily aware of unless they knew where to look. Well, this is quite a worrying development, then. It seems we have more to fear from the outsiders than I initially thought. And if what you say is true, then that explains the presence of this Abishai the children of the scale have been working with.
I'm not entirely certain they're directly affiliated, mainly because one of the Black Circle's own is a self-proclaimed betrayer of the children of the scale. So. It could just be convergent methodologies.
This certainly bears further investigation. Very well. That is something to deal with in the days to come. You all have done the city a great service many times over. And for that, you have my thanks. And the thanks of all who live in Shije. But I believe that you are on a mission that is more critical than any of us here truly understand. You are free to leave the city whenever you wish. And, should you so choose, you will be given badges of honor with which to enter our walls once again. You will be scrutinized, and you will be kept under watch in the coming days. But know that it is because we have been made aware of many threats we were not aware of. And it seems that we are woefully unprepared for the outside world.
And I would, at this point, if I can, I would certainly interject toward the Pharaoh. I would say, and speaking of awareness of threats, now that you know of the existence of the Knights of the Black Circle, we would counsel you to be very careful who you share that information with. If they know that you know about them, it may get even more dangerous than it already is.
I can trust the ones that reside behind these walls. There is little that escapes my sight here in the palace and beyond. It is what exists beyond our walls that concerns me the most.
As it should.
Okay, am I the only one that sees the problem with what she just said?
I was about to say that.
I'm saying that out loud, by the way.
Yeah, Your Majesty, I believe the late King Brahm Onik probably had a similar opinion of his own palace. I would counsel a bit of healthy paranoia.
Oh, I mean, yes, there is that, but my concern is this. We got in pretty easily.
You were shown the way by one who knows.
And how many of your subjects how many people live here that you're 100% sure have not sold out for money? Greed is a very, very big motivator.
And greed is anathema to our very people's existence.
And what about the cultists that worshipped, the other guy?
Jan Kodesh's followers are not hard to spot. They are tainted in many ways, branded in others. When they are exiled,
But
they are made to be marked forever by their association with the god of trickery and lies.
But they would still have the knowledge of the city's layouts. Like I said, I'm the think about the worst case scenario kind of guy here.
Even in that case, Korako protects. This city will not fall to despots, and it will not fall to the Dark God. For he is God no more, at least for now. And his power remains sealed. He is as effective as any mortal could be. We have rebuffed many of them over the years. Shije has stood for centuries defending against the Dark God's influence, and we have been successful thus far.
You've been successful defending against the one Dark God.
I think the point's been made.
Okay. Warning's been made. Yep. My piece has been spoken. I'm good.
Your concern is noted. So, I will not be ruled by fear when it comes to these people. We will meet them head-on as we have with every other threat that has reared its head at our city and our people, and we will stand as one against it when it does, as we have done many times in the past. With Karako's light to guide us, there is nothing that we cannot do.
Lesser note, something that honestly is probably beneath your stature, but I feel I need to ask. We have been on the road for as long as we have, partially not out of choice. We've all been effectively how to put this nicely, put into a position when none of us are allowed to return home. I don't suppose there's any empty places in Shije that would be available if we needed a place to rest our heads. For lack of a better word. I don't like having to ask about this, but as I've said, we have, frankly, nowhere at this point that is even remotely safe.
For tonight, my amnesty extends to your guest chambers. But that is as far as I can take it for now. This development of outsiders coming in and saving the city purely out of altruism and, their own sense of adventure is new to us, certainly, and will take some getting used to. If I were to immediately turn my back on centuries of tradition and paranoia, healthy paranoia, as you would call it, it would be alarming, to say the least. So, I cautiously cannot extend my hand any further than tonight.
That's entirely fair. I asked mainly because I had to, not because it was because I'm aware of the situation. I had to ask.
You are my guests, which gives you a measure of plausible deniability when it comes to the mistrusting nature of my people. But this can only last for so long before eyebrows are raised and questions are answered. The rumor mill is terrifying to behold, to be honest. When your whole life is behind a set of walls, you get kind of bored very quickly, and gossip tends to travel to flicking ears that will listen. It is a pastime for many.
I look over at Chance after she has said this, and I hold up 9 fingers, then I put my hands down, then I hold up all 10. And then I simply say, anything else we should share?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Anything at all. Something where we have encountered the number 9 and the number 10 right afterwards.
Yeah, the whole 9 will become 10 thing. I'm gonna need you to remind me.
Something that we have seen.
What is 9 shall be 10
repeated.
is the mantra of the Black Circle.
Yes. And that is
I'm
kind of what I
think. Bring that up to her.
should we bring that up, basically? 9, 10, huh?
Wait,
Right. I would also mention the mantra that the Knights of the Black Circle seem to favor. See if that does anything in your own knowledge. See if that reminds you of anything.
Any information you can give me is all I know about these people. I have not heard about them or their machinations before today.
Does the phrase "what is 9 will become 10" mean anything to you?
No, unfortunately.
Well, in that case, we would caution that it is a danger sign. If you hear that, whoever says that to you is not a friend. Even beyond your...
I would as far venture out to say, as if somebody say that to you, you should find out whoever all their friends are and kill them just for safety.
Because these people are actually very good at infiltration. Valerian.
Am I wrong here though?
I wouldn't default to summary execution.
Neither did King Brahman.
I mean, he did. I mean, that phrase wasn't.
He's doing great. He's doing. Great.
I would also point out that phrase was ever mentioned in his presence before they decided to, remove him.
Okay, fine.
Whoa.
Question them. Gather them up and question them. How about that?
I feel like I don't know what you guys are referencing, but I feel like if they do hear that,
right. Well, we'll need to fill you in on all the particulars later.
We keep forgetting you're the new guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Sora would not have heard of this as she joined us very, very recently. But I will. Yeah, we'll fill you in a little later on this. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah.
We will treat this new threat with a measure of seriousness, of course. We will endeavor from this day out to root out any corrupting influences we can find. I believe that is in order here. Our defenses have been lacking thus far, and I believe that this is because of our some form of waning faith, perhaps in the people of Shije. We will reaffirm our connection to Kurako. We will root out any corrupting influences, and we will snuff them.
Yeah, maybe you should just... Don't get me wrong, I respect your faith, but sometimes, you gotta do without... You can't just rely on them 24/7.
Valerian.
Please shush.
Yes.
What, am I wrong?
Yes, shush.
Or am I wrong here?
You a literal cleric.
And?
You are you get your power from holy magic. Instead of not relying on gods.
You are the last person that should be saying that.
I get my magic and power from concept, not from divine being.
Yeah, keep gaslighting yourself. See you back up.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I thought I had drawn from a particular ancestor when I started doing some of my stuff. Turns out I was correct. Just so far off the mark on what I thought I was dealing with that it nearly got me killed on several occasions. So you know what? I generally don't trust assumptions anymore. And I would advise the same to you.
Well, questions of faith aside, I believe that we have touched on everything I wished to talk about. You have given us great insight into the dangers that are knocking at our gate here. And you have certainly opened my eyes to the inadequacies that have seeped their way into even the upper reaches of Shije. So, I thank you for that, at least. The rest you can leave to us. You must continue on your journey in the morning.
Yeah, about that in the morning. One last request. Tomorrow morning, will we be able to visit the marketplace to, acquire, provisions and whatnot? Because last time they said we weren't allowed to trade.
Gather a list of items you need, and they will be provided for you within reason. Our city did just get over a plague, so resources are scarce.
Fair?
That's workable. We mainly just need food and water for. We can handle everything else, really.
It will be done. Present your list to one of my guards, and he will see to it that it is fulfilled before you leave.
Yeah, the Lord Sands could take care of that. He's our leader, so. Right, sleep.
With that, the the Pharaoh bids you adieu. Kind of shows you to the door and wishes you a good night. The Eclipse Guard outside is directed to escort you back to your rooms.
Hey, Chancellor of the Guards, can we get like a room for us to talk, like us as a group? It won't be too long. We'll head back to our rooms immediately after, I promise.
My orders are to escort you back to the guest wing so that you may get rest. Beyond that, I have no qualms with you commiserating.
Perfect. When we get back, we all need to have a bit of a conversation.
Agreed.
You each have your own individual bed chambers that you can make advantage of. So I'm assuming you gather one of them, whatever it is. You can have a conversation amongst yourselves.
Okay. For starters, we're gonna need to fill you in on all the details you need to know if you're going to not die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah. So, you've pretty much lived in the Shadowfell your entire life thus far, correct, Sora?
Yep.
Okay. Now, in this realm, there was as probably corresponds to the regions of the Shadowfell, there are multiple continents in this one. We're from one of the other ones. On that one, the king was assassinated. And it turns out there were some... I don't think I would be incorrect in saying very bad people behind it. And they are currently
trying to take over the world.
Well, on the smaller scale, you should probably know if you're going to be traveling with us, and I point at Chance, Valerian, and myself. We are all technically wanted criminals on that other continent. Would either of you care to disagree with that assessment? Yes? At least as of this time, we are being sought with great effort by the, I'm going to say, forces of law and order. So,
Dun, dun.
sorry. But yes, the most, maybe not all, but many guards and soldiers have been looking for us with great interest, in large part because we are opposing the designs of these Knights of the Black Circle that you may have heard mentioned before. They are powerful and they have a long reach, and they have a lot of backing, both financial and infernal, I guess. Yes, that's so. It is. And I'm going to gesture to her, with kind of the wearing the antler headdress and being a little unusual looking even for an elf. If you are seen in a lot of places with the rest of us, your name is probably going to get added to the list. So we've been trying to get pretty good at hiding. At least when we have to, and beats getting shot. So, just take what you will from that. I know that's a lot to absorb, but...
Shot, dead, burned, drowned, electrocuted, acid, poured on, poison.
Turned into a rage monster.
I forgot about that one.
So nothing new. Got it.
Yeah,
no. There's a difference between getting angry like you do and being literally turned into an avatar of slaughter, aka a literal demon.
No, it was bad. It was like, no. He tried to. Well, the thing that he became tried to burn down a city. I think that's about right.
Ancient text. The ancient texts talk about a monster called a Trogdor. He became that.
There may have
He was a dragon.
There may have been some burninating. Little burninating. Yeah.
All right. Now that we've kind of brought you up to speed, next order of business. Valerian, can I call you Phil? I'm gonna call you Phil right now. I don't feel like being polite.
You may certainly not.
Phil of the future.
Nice.
I appreciate what you were trying to say to the Pharaoh. You were correct to caution against trusting your faith 100% when you're dealing with the enemies of said faith, because devil's holy, kind of part of the course. There's a word for it, however, that I
If
feel
you're
like you
implying
should
that
know.
I don't have tact, I did that on purpose.
That's honestly even worse than if you just didn't have tact.
So you were just trying to piss off the most powerful woman in this area?
Yes.
You're
That was-
dumber than me.
That was in the process of helping us.
Look,
When we have
between how many shit we've been through, there is no guarantee that she's not working for them. As you said, she's the most powerful person we know.
And they do like corrupting powerful people.
Mm-hmm.
She's also, the leader of an isolationist nation that is kept. I want you to realize something. We can count the amount of allies we have on one hand with fingers to spare. We don't have the we really should not be trying to burn what few bridges we have.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but you said it yourself. She's the ruler of the isolated country that up to this far has been desperate to save their people. You know what desperate rulers do? Make stupid deals.
I'll let you know that there is a giant dragon in the tower thingy that would stop that immediately.
Yeah, also, I don't think she's taking that too lightly.
I want to make it clear. I appreciate what you're trying to do, because you are trying to look out for everyone involved. You really need to work on your timing.
Speaking from experience, questioning the Pharaoh's faith is not exactly the greatest course of action you could take.
I thought you went home.
You look over and you see that Shaxi has made her way silently into one corner of the room.
Oh God! I literally jumped out. I thought you went home.
Jump scare!
Yeah, it's
She didn't be his home.
It's the Dwight meme from The Office where Angela appears behind him and just goes, "Fuck!" It's that. I am home. Well, I am back in the palace at the very least, which I have you to thank for. my head and all. You are not wrong to question my mother's zeal when it comes to worshipping Karako. It has led her astray before, as we have seen. But I would have a little bit more faith in her. She is not an easily swayed woman. It takes quite the effort to change her mind, as we've seen.
That's probably a very good thing. I wouldn't normally endorse paranoia, but in a situation like this, letting
My mother is one
letting
of the few
foreigners
people who
in
have
is a
even spoken to
danger.
Karako directly. There is no room for doubt that she believes in him wholeheartedly.
That's good, but it's probably best not to believe in foreigners, especially right now. I hate saying it, but
She got the picture.
yeah.
Now, what I wanted to say is thank you, truly, for saving my life, for doing what I could not. And I would like to apologize for the deception up until this point. Well, it was more of a half-truth, but even so.
You know, it was hardly even that, given how we never exactly asked who you were.
At the time we met, I was no longer the heir to Shije, so I had no reason to convince you otherwise.
And I would also say you have no reason to feel shame for the choices you made there. If it was not for a little bit of deception and I motion at Chance, Valerian, and myself, if it wasn't for that, there's a very good chance that all of us would not have made it here alive. Deception has helped save our skin a few times.
I am under no illusion otherwise. I use the methods I do because my opinions on our faith are different than the status quo, at least in part. There is a small bit of darkness in all of us. And although the current priesthood would have you reject that darkness as much as you can, it is through embracing that darkness that we are whole. Within reason. Of course. Letting the darkness control you is how you get followers of Rian Kodesh who steal and murder and lie and cheat and all manner of evils.
Yes, we are somewhat familiar with individuals similar to that.
But even my own faith, even those among Karako's faithful cannot deny that a path to redemption exists for those who have fallen, for those who embrace their darkness and who work to turn it to the light, at the very least. So, once again, I thank you. I wanted to get that off my chest before we parted ways, as it were. Now that I have returned to my mother, she will not be keen to let me go very easily. I shall have to work harder to deceive her from now on. But I don't think I will be trying anything too disruptive in the coming days. I've seen much of the outside world, but even then it is so vast I feel like I have seen nothing at all. But what little I have experienced I will share with her.
Well, Once the black circle is dealt with, maybe we can return and share more of the outside world in a more positive light.
Perhaps.
It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances that this is how we had to discuss things.
She turns to leave the chamber, but before she does, she reaches over to one of her hands and pulls off a ring. You can see it's a elaborate gold band with a tiger's eye gem on it. Hands it to you. A bit of favor and a bit of thank you. Something that I have kept with me as a measure of good luck. May it bring you fortune in the days to come. And then she leaves.
Chance gonna look at the ring. Is it like a is this just a ring or is it a magic ring? Like,
Cast identify her.
Chance will hold out the ring to Limestone, if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, I'll do a ritual cast on that. It'll take a bit, but it's very pretty. All right, I'll take 10 minutes doing that.
It is a ring of 9 lives luck. And it's a custom item. It doesn't exist, but what it does is while you're wearing it, no attunement required. When you fail a skill check, you can re-roll the d20 and take the higher result. No attunement required, no reaction required. It's just something you can do once per day.
Wow. Well, that's massive. No. I hand it back to Chance and tell him what it does. She wanted you to have it. In the right situation, it might save your life, or one of ours. Who knows?
I'm gonna palm the ring and I'm gonna step out and look at a guard. Hey, what do we do if we're given a gift by one of the royalty and we don't want to get called a thief for it?
I'm confused by the question.
Just put it in your pocket, Chance.
Look, I'm through to I'm gonna cover my bases after everything that's happened. Okay, I'm allowed to be cautious.
Were you given a gift by the Pharaoh or any member of her court?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would rather not get called a thief if I decided to put it on.
Well, then I believe it would be rude to refuse it.
Well, no, I'm not. Okay, so I don't have to. So if I have it, I'm not going to get called a thief for something. Kind of used to a bit of distrust, if you couldn't tell.
He has a very puzzled look on his face. He's like, I don't really. You're confusing. You confuse me, outsider.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for answering my question. I appreciate your your honesty.
Clearly not paid to think this one.
Yeah. So, what, does the ring have a name, or like I kind of?
Yeah. It's the ring of 9 lives luck.
We just.
Yep. Gold ring with a tiger's eye stone. Yes.
Yeah. It's a gold ring with a tiger's eye stone. It does not require attunement. Once per day, when you fail a skill check, you can re-roll the d20 and take the higher result.
Alright, that's useful. That is incredibly useful.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like once per day reroll, basically reroll a skill check? Or is it?
Reroll a skill check that you fail.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fail a Thieves' Tools check, you can reroll the Thieves' Tools to take the higher result. Or if you're racking your brain for knowledge of Arcana and you have a brain fart, you can jumpstart your mind, I guess. Or at least attempt to.
That a good way to write it out?
Yep, that's fine.
Alright. Perfect.
Neat. That could even help with historical knowledge.
It could.
If we know anyone who likes that.
It's like a little bump of guidance.
So, okay. Now, since we're all here, I figure I should ask this. What do we want to do next? Because if we were tasked by the... what's the name of that fucking paladin order? I have it written down over here.
The Eternal Order.
Yes.
We were asked by the Eternal Order to deal with a problem that existed that was happening in the Forest of the Lost.
With all the excitement, I'd just about forgotten.
Don't we have to deal with our key stuff? Or the key thing?
Let's find the next key locations first before that.
Okay.
Well, that's probably wise, but because we have about 3 choices here, I see. But let me just chance will pull out a map and hold up a light behind the key. Oh wait, no, did we already check where this key app points to somewhere in the middle of the fucking void?
I mean, you could look again.
Right.
I don't know at which point I'll give you the world map here. So you'll see up in the top middle section where the beacon points to on the map.
Yiptide's beacon. So it could be halfway between Arval and Netria.
Ooh. Well, I like that option, if for no other reason than it's far away from one.
Like I said, we have 3 choices. We can help deal with the dragon problem this area is facing.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine, said dragon problem might have something to do with some of our other issues. Yeah, given the devilish information they seem to have. Yeah. So they can go try and deal with that. That would involve fighting a dragon. Don't suppose anyone here is particularly for or against that idea. We could go to the Forest of the Lost.
Believe it or not, I am for that idea.
Yeah. Actually, yes, Dragon's Horde, all that and the other, yes, we are kind of low on funds.
No, I mean,
And it
yes,
does have the...
there is that, yes, but my reason is a little bit more altruistic. We just sort of save these fucking people. I feel kind of responsible. You get what I'm saying?
See your point, and I don't disagree.
He's got a point.
And as you said,
Sora, would you care to weigh in on this?
And as you said it before, I mean, we don't have that many allies. having a fucking whole nation owe us? Sort of a big score.
Mm.
Yes.
It is a nice change from a whole nation hunting for us.
Currently speaking, our only real allies at this point is the Eternal Order. So I would agree with Valeria.
I wouldn't call them allies. I would say strong acquaintances at best.
No, they're not friends of the Black Circle. That is as close to an ally as we can really expect at this stage. And if we do what we were asked by their... by the way, for the record, I will quickly explain what the Eternal Order is to the new person.
Okay.
You know who that is above game, what they are above game. So just, yeah.
Yep. And I'll even chime in with, the ship I used to live on. Things happened and they got sent back through time, but they helped me find what was left of it. They're not.
And
I miss my home.
Yeah. They're good people, and well, I'd rather have them positively inclined to us than negatively inclined.
Nuts.
Now, I have a question, VG. Do these keys each point to a specific other key, or like if
each key points to one other key?
Right. So the Black Circle has no way to know where this is, because we have the only thing that points to it.
Correct. Unless they are scrying on you currently.
Right, I don't think... Yeah, we're going to need to sort out some our protection against that.
What, like something that makes it hard to detect us? Something... I don't know? Undetecting? Non-detection? There's an idea.
Yeah. Point being, unless they're looking at us, they won't be able to, So we do have time. I would suggest we deal with the dragon problem, go to the Forest of the Lost, sort out what the Eternal Order wanted from us there. Then we go for the last key.
If nothing else, that plan has proximity working for it. We can go with what's closest, then a little further, and then way out there in the void.
And
sounds good to me.
And this will also allow us to marshal our force, marshal our strength a bit more. Yeah, I'm certain you all have heard the phrase "iron sharpens iron" or some other variation of it.
Ooh.
And right now, our goal is very succinct.
I'm going to make antlers out of that dragon's bones.
You are welcome to do that. I would ask you at the very least. We also might have need for this.
Okay.
But we will need to figure out the situation first.
Okie dokie.
So for narrative purposes, I'm going to say at this point is when you guys split for the night with your plan decided to some degree. You still have your ship to go and collect to make your way as fast as you can upward toward your destinations. And it is during your alone time chance that you would cast the Legend Lore spell you asked me about last session, because I didn't have anything. I forgot about it, and I didn't do it until now. So I've sent you that section of whatever in your DMs. You can read that over at your leisure.
Now that gives me confidence that we aren't going to be betrayed by the Empress here. I'm just going to copy paste what you sent me, if that's all right. Just
sure. This is after you guys have gone to bed for the night. But we'll say we pick up in the morning. You guys can gather. If anyone has a list of shit they want, go ahead and throw it in chat. Throw it in your inventory, or throw it in chat. Whatever works.
Okay.
Depending on what you ask for. I mean, if it's like food and water, that's fine.
Yeah.
Give yourself as much of that as you can carry. In terms of like, if you're asking for scrolls, that might be a bit of a tall order. We'll see how it goes.
Question: do I get the thing back?
The what?
The Sildurak? The fancy morning star that we got from the temple.
Siladak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That was your boon given to you by Solamir himself. They are not to question his judgment in that matter.
Got it.
That would have been given to you probably in the morning.
Okay.
So you would not be able to spend the night with it per se.
Any objection to the party if I just leave them the longsword?
No, none here.
The longsword, for all intents and purposes, is now just a +1 longsword. It's not anything special anymore.
Yes, but it still has a religious symbol on it, so
it's whatever it is. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not like a massive holy artifact that they're going to hate you for stealing or anything. But it's also not the greatest thing in the world. It's just that it's a +1 weapon if you want it. If not, then you can leave it. Who cares? In terms of those scrolls, I believe Gentle Repose is probably the only thing they'd be able to provide for you. If you want it, like they can get you.
Cool.
They can get you a scribed scroll by the afternoon.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I went ahead and just added rations and water rations to my inventory to a number. You can say as much as we could carry, and I carry a lot.
As much as you want to take with you, that's fine. I don't care. They're able to provide at least enough to fill your packs and your water skins and send you on your way to the point where you won't starve out in the desert. I will say for the purposes of the scroll, it's written in Catfolk, so you're gonna have to translate it. But we can call that part of the transfer to your spellbook time.
Sounds good. I can just use I can use comprehend languages to do that. So
yeah, it's it's like
Bit
it's
by
twofold.
bit.
Not only is it written in a different language that you then have to translate, but you have to then you have to get the context for it, and you have to translate a faith-based ritual into an arcane-based ritual. So there's layers to this that you're going to have to work toward.
Okay.
Not any extra than you would have had to do anyway. I'm just saying that's the process for you for this particular scroll, as opposed to another
Sounds
scroll
good.
where it's like, you know, you could just copy it with intaglio and call it good.
Yep. I imagine that'll take a few days or however long. So.
Well, it's however long it takes for you to describe a gentle repose via the wizard ability. Whatever your wizard spellbook says you can do with it. I would just say that if you, I don't know if I gave you intaglio or not, but if you have intaglio, it probably would not do you very much good. You probably have to spend the full time on this one.
Yeah, no, I've got intaglio, but I figured it probably wouldn't work too well on Tabaxi. So.
I mean, it would work. It's just you can't. All it would do is copy the exact text. It wouldn't give you, you know, it wouldn't transpose it for you. That's the problem.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So,
neat.
Gathering what you guys need. Anyone else have anything special other than food and water you're asking for in terms of supplies?
I was gonna try to get some ammunition. I think I mentioned crossbow bolts earlier, since I haven't been able to find any in months. I don't know. It's been a while, but
sure. Yeah, I guess so. I think probably they would be able to procure a bushel.
Just
probably not a lot. Probably 20. There's not
ordinary crossbow bolts. Nothing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wood in the desert.
Yep.
So you know, bow and arrow, not the preferred method of weaponry.
I mean, I could ask for sling stones, but I've already got those, so I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, rocks are hard to come by.
Yeah, nothing I would really need on that. So
it reminds me of a stand-up bit someone did. I don't know if you guys have seen the Kill Tony show, podcast, whatever. They have random people from the crowd come up and do 1 minute of stand-up if they think they have something funny to say. And one of the guys' set starts with, "I'm not retarded, but I like rocks." It's just got a big laugh out of everybody. I like rocks. I got a few in my pocket. Okay, so yeah, you're able to get a bushel of 20, but that's not something that they carry with them in great supply.
Well, that's
most of the weaponry that you've seen is metal melee weapons.
Yeah, 20 is 20 more than I had. So
yeah, for context on the Eclipse Guard, I can show you a picture of them. Actually, I think I have them here somewhere.
Beep, beep. Oh, and boop.
Make them nice and big.
Eh.
That's generally speaking what they look like. They have this uniquely dark colored armor with, you know, massive battle axes that they wield.
That's the size of a province.
Yeah, almost all of them are big, bulky leonine people.
Wow.
You gave a new definition of the murder kitty.
Yep.
Complete side note. I'm wondering if the new Bastion mechanic is designed to counteract murder hobo-ness, since you can't be a hobo if you actually have a base.
Right. I don't know if it's specifically designed for that, but it might help that problem.
I assure you, murder hobo has nothing to do with being homeless.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, it's really easy to use the Sims to commit war crimes.
I will like using the new Bastion rules eventually. I'm probably going to use those for my Saturday campaign. I don't think we're going to get to it in this one. the point where it
Just
becomes
don't let
useful
anybody.
is, you know, not a thing here.
Yeah.
You're,
Don't let
we're
anybody get
we're
into a
already
swimming
doing,
pool.
We're already doing like Spelljammer ships. I think that's probably good enough.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you have to go collect that. So, Chance, by the way, shares the legend lore with you if you want to read that in Roll20 chat. You are... Let's see. You're able to get all the food and water you need. You're able to get your ammunition, which is fine. Anyone else have anything they're requesting specifically that is not water-based?
Is there anything in regards to like desert wear, desert gear?
Yeah, if you want to get hot weather clothes, hot weather traveler's clothes that will keep you cool and prevent you from overheating, that's certainly something you can do.
That sounds awesome.
If you're currently decked out in, you know, whatever other clothes you have, probably a nation in many cases.
So
Which is,
I'll just go ahead and
not a warm
add.
climate by any means. It's definitely a chiller climate over there.
I'll just go ahead and add desert clothes to my inventory.
Same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can add like what would I call it? Catfolk traveler's clothes. You'll have to maybe alter it a little bit because there's slits in the pants and in the headdress for ears and a tail.
I mean, it works for Chance because the slits for the ears can be where like because like he has horns, his horns there, and Chance already has a tail.
And actually, and Selra's wearing deer horns anyway, right? So, which looks nice, by the way. That's cool. That's cool.
The rest of you might not want your tramp stamp out, but that's up for you to decide. So yeah, you can request those. You can add hot weather traveler's clothes to your inventory. We don't have to worry about rolling for constitution checks for heat anymore. If that's the case.
How much do they weigh?
That seems wise.
How much do they weigh?
Whatever traveler's clothes weigh. Just drag traveler's clothes into your sheet from the compendium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else anyone can think of?
Nothing's coming to mind.
A little bit of time and money spent. That's it.
Sure.
That's it.
Do you want transportation?
Given where we're going, no.
Because you still gotta get back to Angel Bay to collect your ship, and then you can go from there. Right? Unless you're planning on having Lemmy's mom deliver the ship to you, weren't you? Actually.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I think so.
So you probably just need to go find a place in the desert to camp for a couple of days while the repairs are finished, and then she can show up in the damselfly. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that thing. I didn't think you had to come back to Angel Bay. That's fine. Cool. So yeah, you'll have a couple of days of downtime, like in the desert, to just kind of troll around. At the end of those couple of days, just giving yourself a campsite, doing whatever you need to do, relaxing after the events of the hectic events of the previous day. A couple of days actually. You guys took a long rest in there somewhere. You see on the horizon a cloud of dust, a massive cloud of dust approaching, and flying low over the ashy dunes of the expanse is this beautiful dragonfly-shaped ornithopter ship that you have directed to you via, whatever means of sending a message you were able to do. you kind of flag the damsel flag down, and as the thin legs of your brand spanking new ship alight on the sand delicately, and the gangplank descends from the lower thorax, you see stepping down the captain. What's her face? Esmeralda. That's what her name is. You see Esmeralda stepping down, greeting you all, running up and hugging Lemuel, saying, well, it's about time. I've seen you again. Really took their feet trying to drag this thing out, but got it for you. Now then, bit of business to discuss. I took the liberty of crewing this thing with what we've got left of the Badger, but you still need to name it, so I will leave that up to you.
As far as I'm concerned, this is Pastor's ship, so he gets to name it as his ship.
Let's see. It's a damselfly, right? That's the model.
Yep. It's in the vehicles section. You should be able to see it. I have it set for all players. You should be able to see it. So, any ideas?
Chance.
Yeah, I got an idea.
Yes.
All right. Well, if nobody else has a better name for it, how about
the silence?
How do you all think about the potential name?
The name of?
All right.
Sweet Freedom.
About Serenity, because we surely
I
could
think I've heard
use
something.
It reminds me of a song.
How about
Freebird.
The widow takes
Fly. No.
How about Freebug?
thrill of one more kill.
To be fair, I said
How
Sweet
about-
Freedom because chances. Like I was actually.
Chance, how about how's this for an idea? How about Fortune's Flyleaf? As in the page from a book? For Scholar's Mark? How's it sound?
How about, like, I got a sillier idea.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bookmark.
The bookmark.
Oh. I rather like that.
It's simple, elegant.
I like it.
That's really good.
Very well. We'll have it carved into the thorax. I don't know what to call this fucking thing. It's a strange ship to fly, I'll tell you that much.
But tough.
Either way, the bookmark is yours and she is a beauty. So, captains, where are we off to?
Well, if we're gonna go with the
Talking
plan,
about that fucking dragon.
yeah. Was that not the take care of the closest potential thing first, then worry about the forest, then worry about
But my thinking is I would rather not bring the bookmark to that, because I don't think that's a matchup we win.
Well, do we want to bring it a bit closer? So we don't have to walk this far?
You're the expert sailor here. Chance will look to Limestone's mother. How would you, if you had to throw in your 2 coppers, what would you think? How well do you think the bookmark would do dealing with a dragon?
You'd be committing suicide, my lord, is what I would say to that. This thing's not built for combat, it's built for speed. It's one of the fastest things I've ever had the pleasure of captaining, but at the same time, if you trying to go toe-to-toe with a dragon, you'd be better off running away than flying towards it.
My thoughts exactly.
You can see, like, the mention of dragon. Many people that are here and crewing the ship are like, the fuck did we sign up for? There's definitely a measure of concern that is sweeping the deck here.
Yeah, this is about what I expected. Okay.
Perhaps for our maiden voyage, as it were, we tackle something a bit more our speed.
Well, what do we want to do?
Well, we have the other mission for the weird criminal people.
Do we have anyone here? And Chance will look at the crew. And anyone here know about the Forest of the Lost? Anything we should be worried about going over there if we want to fly over there?
There's a murmur rolls through the crowd. A murmur of mostly confusion. People turning their heads to one another, looking like, "Do you know?" I don't know what he's talking about. One of them pipes up and says, "Where is that? Where is the Forest of the Lost? And why would we be getting lost there?"
Can you swap us back to the Aravel map?
Sure.
Crew do we have for the record?
What?
How much crew do we have?
You have enough to crew the Damselfly without you guys needing to take any extra jobs.
Okay, so Chance will gather up the crew and
Which is
show and pull out the map, and that's where we could add, since this ship is not made to deal with the dragon. That's something we'll have to deal with on our own. What we can do is go this way. We've been tasked by a particularly what's the word?
well endowed.
No, we've been tasked by a ally of ours to look into a problem out there.
Like the captain says, my lord, we are the crew of the bookmark, so we follow your lead.
In all out of character, in all honesty, that took me fucking 4 days to come up with a name for the ship. Ever since I heard about we're coming, gonna get our own ship.
Yeah.
That's a cool name. Yeah.
So, with your heading set and adventure on the horizon once again, you pile onto the damselfly, start her up, the wings beating rhythmically, kicking up a massive dust storm before you peel off and dart away over the remaining Ashen Expanse. And that is where we're going to end the session for today. A little bit of a shorter episode for now. We will pick up next time with your first foray into the Forest of the Lost, the opposite of the Ashen Expanse in many, many ways. So,
I'm gonna do something real quick before the session actually ends.
okay.
If it ever fucking feels. What the fuck? God damn, Mom. I need to reload because this fucking thing just went bonkers on.
Bonkers
Okay,
was
so
show.
basically Kiadi's crown.
Mhm.
That's where the dragon and all them is.
Yeah.
I'd like to use the divine intervention.
Okay. In what way are you?
Interesting.
Divine intervening? Anything? What is your prayer that you send to the universe?
I'm not gonna be crazy enough to say, get rid of the dragon, because I don't think that's going to fucking happen. What I am going to pray for is make sure that the Kiadi's crown, the lizard and the dragon and pretty much all the evil beings there are my fucking god rolled. Kept in check long enough for us to come back.
Got it. Praying
The
for
stalemate
placation.
to continue.
Got it. Go ahead and whisper roll the D100 to me.
I don't know how to do that.
If you
Oh,
type,
no, man, I see it.
Yeah.
GM roll.
yeah, /GM roll.
I will.
I don't know if that works for you. It would probably be better to do /W space GM space.
We got the name of the dragon that is like in charge in that volcano, right? We got the name of it.
Yeah, Kiadi. The mountain's literally named after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since I get one of these per day, I'm gonna go ahead and use one. Gonna cast Legend Lore on that dragon.
Sure.
So technically, Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Correct.
So
You need
I'm
to roll
thinking what we.
below your level, right? I think is how it goes. Equal to or lower than your cleric level. That's how it goes.
So what I'm thinking is we either we could go along the coast just for places to dock, and maybe continue on foot from here.
You certainly could.
Yeah.
It's been a while since the message came through to you guys, so I don't know how much you remember, but it is, I believe it's Oakham. That is the closest to the location you need to get to collect
so-
the artifacts he asked you to collect.
All right, yeah. So then we'd go to Oakham then.
I will also mention, just because it might be relevant, the purple settlements are Onic. They're Anishan controlled. The green ones are
Got it.
Demetrian controlled. So once you cross Envy, you're out of potentially dangerous territory if the word of your bounty has reached the colonies.
Got it. So yeah.
You've been gone for a month.
So actually,
So
so yeah, I think we just take instead of doing that, we just do this straight shot to Oakham.
All right. So, I will leave you with the legend lore you cast on Kiadi. And we'll end the session there since you're doing that now. And this is legend lore through your own thing, or is it legend lore through something?
I get a once per day legend lore off of my focus.
Right, the Dragon Touch focus. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was fishing for. So, just for a little bit of flavor. So, your focus as you concentrate on it and begin to enact the spell, trying to feel your way out into the universe, probing for answers as to the nature of the Primarch of Fire up there. Or I forget what I call it. I think I called them Praetorians. I don't know. I don't remember what. I have to look up what the title of each of them was because I had a whole thing for it.
Primarch of Fire gives a very different and much more concerning idea of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just don't remember what I actually called it. It was something with a P, but I don't remember what the actual.
I don't like our odds, and we're fighting Vulcan.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they have their own titles. So, you would get a vision, first of all, of the Mountain of Fire, a constantly erupting, roiling, massive mountain of seeping lava that flows in and around a collection of dwellings and fortifications dug out of the very rock of the mountain. All the way up the side of the volcano, you see thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dwellings with dragonborn kobolds, half-dragons, and now Abishai that dwell there, decked in forged armor, some black as night and sharp as obsidian, others smooth and clearly not of the same make, either scavenged or collected or forged from different materials, whatever it is. Your vision flashes to the top of the mountain, the peak, where lava spews outward and sends massive flaming rocks careening outward and into the side of the mountain. It zooms in close to the center of the caldera, where the caldera queen sits, slumbering. You were expecting a red dragon, that much is to be sure. You're expecting something massive and powerful and ancient, but you were not expecting the red to come from the elemental energy she has absorbed. She is truly and forever changed by the magic of the volcano. By just suffusing herself in the lava, she's become more than just a massive draconic threat. She's become elemental in her very nature. But for now, she slumbers. And you can see, as your vision pulls back a little bit, a collection of stones surround her. 10, 20, 100. Almost perfect obsidian orbs, the size of a wagon's wheel in diameter, resting surrounding her with beads of light shining from within. Your vision pulls back again, away from the volcano, this time not erupting, dormant, cold. You see a smashed clutch of eggs. You see an endless sky of roiling dust and lightning, and you see a tiny whelp of a red dragon stumbling its way across the sands, having dug itself out of its egg only moments before, staring up at this massive volcano. And that's where the vision ends. So, we're going to pick up there next week, or whenever the next time we play is. We will continue with the Forest of the Lost and your little side quest for the Eternal Order, and then continue on to claim the Key of Tides, the final key you need to claim the entrance to Goldagnir as your own. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.